What is up, Bomb Squad? Welcome to the Burndown YouTube channel. We are out here again on another lovely 100-degree day. It is Labor Day. So I took the day off of work so I can work on my own stuff. Kind of hang out with the fam. Been hanging out with them most of the day, so we're over halfway through the day, past lunchtime, so it's time for me to come tinker on my stuff. So last time we left off, not sure if I showed you or not, but we got the condenser in. Everything reassembled, reimagined. That pipe, charge pipe, was a piece, man. It has to be perfect or it wouldn't work. And then it fits on this little clampy guy just barely, but I digress. Everything's there. It's all in. So we're all back together. So we've got the transcooler, condenser, radiator. Ran the fan a little bit yesterday, but I haven't got to test drive it. So today is a good opportunity, being that it's 100 degrees out. I know that all you guys like to drive your hot rods around 100 degree weather without air conditioning too. Just more incentive to put a big giant condenser in. That is in the way of the turbo. So if you watch the previous one, we had this air box, and then I had a filter that I could slide in through here. But now that this hangs out and hangs over, it screwed that. So I am going to blatantly copy Devin Vanderhoof's little slide-in filter deal. I hit my buddy Anthony Harville up. He did the same. And it should just be a slide-in deal right on the front of the turbo. And then you slide it out. No tools or nothing. So when the hood is off, you slide in, slide it out, and then the box portion I'm hoping will just stay on here. But the trick is I don't have the filter yet because Amazon screwed me again. It was supposed to be here yesterday and they delayed it. Hopefully till today is what they're telling me now. But I don't want to waste much time just waiting to get the filter. So I am going to start by making the ring portion that would go around here, because I don't really know what the squares on the filter. I could pull up the Amazon thing and maybe kind of oversize it a little bit. So we may do that, but I'm going to start with the ring portion, and then we will kind of start looking at it. And if I have to go on Amazon and look for sizing, we'll do that. I don't want to get too far ahead though, because you always seem to screw yourself when you do that, and I don't really want to make this thing twice. But like I said, I can start with the ring portion where it would like attach to it. So we'll get that kind of made, and then hopefully Amazon comes through, and then we can make the square backing plate. And then I have the opening for this, so even if we make that a little bit bigger, I can cut that down the stomp shear to size, I think. So we'll just start, and let's cheer on Amazon. Come on, Amazon! I know it's Labor Day, but some of us have things to do, so I'm waiting for you. I'm looking. We're looking for Amazon. Where you at, Amazon? Figured I would share a tip with you guys. I used this, and I wrapped it around the inlet of the turbo, all the way around, and then I take a marker, I overlap it, and I just touch the dots, so you have two black dots, and then you unravel it straight, and I use a magnet to hold it down, and hold it out, and then I use my tape measure to measure it, so you can do it one-handed, right? That gave me 19 inches circumference. So I came back and made a strip, and I actually made it over 19 inches just to make life easy. Measured the width on it. So this is our little strip guy that'll go in there. So that's what's going to fasten the box onto the turbo. And then you want it split, a split ring, so it can squish, right? So I will have my clamp on there. When you tighten it up, you want it to squish the end, so the ends, it's not going to be welded or anything. It'll actually be a gap. And then I was like, man, I don't want to pull this turbo cover off, right? But I need a circle. And I was like, what do I have that's 6 inches? And sometimes just, you know, you think a little bit, and then you go, hey, I have a 6-inch DA, and I go through these things like hotcakes, and it's basically a sticker. So we'll pull this, slam it on there, wherever we see fit, and then that'll give me my circle. And then I'll share with you guys, we're still waiting on Amazon. These are my top secret photographs I stole from the old YouTubes on what we're aiming for. So it's like that. There's a side view. You can see the clampy guy, and then he has a bigger split. I'm going to try to make it a little smaller split. And then if I can, I'd like to avoid that weld right here. Obviously, you're going to have to stitch this part to that, but this whole corner joint, I mean, I can do it, but if we can just design it where I can just break that piece and break that, life would be good, and then I'd only have to weld the bottom portion right? So we'd have two edges, and that would be broken over. And then we'll just have to weld the bottom piece on and then just stitch this whole backing plate to the strappy guy. That was the plan. The problem I have is my invisible air filter. So what we're going to do is we're going to stick this guy down, leave ample room. I did go on Amazon's deal. It says between $145, basically like $445, so it's like $130 right now. And I know they're probably going to screw me, but if I can at least get this and leave some ample room. I looked on Amazon for the size, but I can't find the size. So if we get past this and the old Amazon truck doesn't show up, we will go and figure out. It's a Honda Accord filter, so there's got to be somewhere like Rock Auto or something that actually has a physical dimension, because I'd like to kind of trim it down and get stuff closer, get an idea of how much material I need. But again, I don't really want to screw myself. We're definitely not cutting material. I don't mind wasting cardboard, but this is a little tip and a trick, and then this will give you an idea of what we're kind of shooting for, so you guys don't think that I actually figured this out. So all right, game on. Sweet. Yeah, that's our guy right here. So let's see how close our paper filter was. See how if we would. Oh yeah, we definitely would have screwed ourselves. So not quite as small as what I saw or thought. Basically, that's the inside of the filter. So I'm glad I didn't get too far ahead. So there's a little filter guy. And what I did do is I made the little strap circle piece. Then I fastened it on here, and you can see there's a cut. And that gives me my outer radius with the material thickness. So then I made this little template. So this is my turbo opening, right? With the, well, it's actually the opening of the aluminum piece. So this will have to be, the box will have to be wide enough for that. But I think, yeah, so see, we're wider technically, but we're sliding this whole thing in. So I think it works out fine. Yeah. So there you go. Perfect. So I will get a new measurement on this guy, and then we will draw it up. I already started working on one. I was drawing it up, and I'm like, man, I'm just not going to get really much further than this. So that one is garbage. So we will start over. But now I have the actual filter and the inlet size. Now we can make progress. Quit waiting for stuff to happen. We got the paper template done. I did all the bends on it, fit the filter, kind of tentatively set it in the car, so I think everything should work fine. And then I shortened it up a bit. And then initially I thought I would run it like that, but it seems to fit better this way. So if that was on the turbo, you just slide it in there like that. So I think that's fine for what we're trying to accomplish. And then the bottom portion, so I don't have to weld this part, right? I will have to weld the circle to the back of that and cut the hole and all that. So we'll just make a little cap for down here, and then I'll figure out how I want to weld that. So try not to get this too boogery like on these little edges and stuff, and then I'll flip it the bottom up so it matches, but I'll just have two little welds here and then around the bottom. So if it's ugly, nobody can see it. And you see the back of it, and it looks kind of nice. And I don't have a finger brake, so these brakes are cool. This one was alright, and then I had to beat it the rest of the way with that thing like a caveman on the ground. So she ain't perfect, but I think it'll work good as long as this thing slides in and out. And it has to be tight enough to kind of seal up. We're trying to keep rocks and critters and stuff out of the turbo for the most part. So this isn't going to be some super duper sealed up thing, but this has got to be 10 times better than, as long as it's flat too. I mean, there's probably a decent seal, and then you get suction from the turbo. So I think this will be just fine. Alright, I will use this now to make my bottom panel, and then we will get that kind of cut out, and then I can look at sticking the ring that I have on here. You know, we got the template for that guy. We'll figure out where we want to place it. We'll cut it out, and then we should be able to weld this thing up and hopefully slap a turbo filter on the car. Okay, making a little bottom piece. so you guys would enjoy this. I work in cubby holes, essentially. Granted, I'm messy. I should clean this up, but I was doing body, and then we got distracted on this, and I did steps. So we're getting back to this. Anyway, my brake is back there, and my drill press. So this is on wheels, and then I had to scooch this out to get these things cut. So this is my stomp shear. Let's go on the cubby hole. Let's go on a journey. Oh yeah, this is my life. This is my life right here. Oh, and then the trick is to not wreck your back on that flange over there on the trip back. So got my Harbor Freight brake. I would like one of those magnetic ones. I've seen them, and I saw one time, and it was kind of affordable, but I didn't have any money. You always see cool stuff when you don't have money. And then usually when people put them up, now they're more expensive. Bailey used to have one for like $1,000. Is it $1,400 or something new? And now with used one, people want like 2 G's for. So I'm keeping an eye out. But until then, we're going to use a trusty Harbor Freight. I'd like a finger brake, but I think the electric brake would be better due to space constraints, because we are a little constrained. So let me break this. Enough talking, more braking. And we'll show you how it fits before we get the thing. Well, we're not weld it up. I got to put this on the bottom, and then we got to cut the hole. So still going. Here's a look at the bottom piece. It's still kind of hot, but essentially this is the bottom portion that will cap this dude. So this guy should fit in here like so, right? So bam, and then we'll weld it here, and then cook the bottom all the way around. So yeah, so that's good. And then maybe I'll tack that on, and then we can do the back piece. I got to punch a hole and decide where we want it. So let me tack that on so it has a bottom, and it's basically our structure. And then we will decide where to put the old hole by kind of fitting it on the car. Made my decision on where to put it. Cut the circle by hand. What a pain. I'm over here designing stuff for a laser, for you know, fans and all that, and then I come outside for my own stuff, and this is what you get. We get hand cut circles. I thought this was pretty fun. I was trying to figure out how to get this thing tacked so I could kind of make sure it worked before I welded it. And when I tighten this down, it twists that, so it opens a gap. So I thought that was pretty ingenious. So if I can get a couple tacks on the back side of this thing, we can kind of fit it. So, and then I was debating on where to put the gap, but I'll just put it on the top. Mostly because I had to do that. I wanted to put it like on the bottom, but whatever. And then we'll figure out how to close that thing up, maybe with just a band that you weld on or whatever, or you clamp on the turbo. Alright. Try to keep this thing flush. Okay, I had to play with it. I had to cut 2 tacks and open the thing up. Yeah, man, we're just sucking air straight off the condenser. But, well, the AC is cold. That's the main priority. And then I angled it back a little bit, so we should make sure this thing's not smoking hot. Oh, see, I already broke my tack again. See if this guy slides in. Bam. So, and obviously you clamp the guy down. But yeah, that is a drag and drive air filter. I don't know if we can turn it. Oh, I cut my hand off with this sharp ass aluminum. Anyway, let me mess with it. I'm gonna turn it. It's bothering my OCD or my ADD or whatever. Something D. There. All right. So now when you look in. So, yeah. See, I think I have to angle it, because otherwise I gotta wrestle that thing, so. Well, looks like my LCD is not gonna win this challenge. But, anyway, It's late. I'm supposed to barbecue because it is Labor Day. So we're gonna put a couple tacks back on that thing, maybe stitch weld a little bit. Call this good. I will finalize, finish weld it, and that is that. Like I said, I'm a little bummed. You know, we're sucking heat off of this guy, but you know, that's part of when you want to drag and drive. This is the drive portion, so we're gonna sacrifice a little horsepower for a lot of comfort. Tell me some of you guys know what to do. I'm out.
Rolling through the streets, yeah, I'm the king of the block. Got that drag and drive style, make your whole city rock. Maliboom gangster, with a touch of finesse. I'm burning rubber, raising hell, feel the heat, no stress. Turbo LS, under the hood, I'm moving quick. Nicky tires grip the road, make them stick like a trick. She sloppy too, we got a hit in 08. In the war performance parks all over the place. The bomb squad's